So, welcome back to this series I'm doing. Welcome to 0.0.13a underscore 03, but we're not going to be in there for much longer, since this episode we will be upgrading to 0.0.14a underscore 08. Are you ready? Set? Go! And we have arrived in the new version. Okay, one thing I'm noticing is that the wooden planks now look very different in color. They are more of an orangey color as opposed to like the bright sort of grayish color, grayish yellow color that they were before. And I don't know, they look. This is sort of closer to their modern texture. They look a bit more like I don't know, stacked up logs more than like the brick-like thing we had before. But also, let's actually go over the new features in this version, or at least those that we have access to. So you can now. R always respawns you in the same place now, but you can actually press enter to set your respawn point. And now I want to check the water here because hopefully, if updated, this water should start flooding in. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure if I go over here and tick the water at the edge of the map, it should start to tick. Like, yeah, like that. And so now we should get water flooding in to fill out our lake area and to fill out all the other things where we have put water. And a nice thing to sort of complement this change is that we now have access to sand for beaches. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the big beach, the sort of big beachfront that I wanted to put. So, beach is completed, and that covers like basically the first new feature of 14A. Well, the first new block. The first new feature was the respawning. And the water mechanics. But, like, and you can see that we have our water filled in here. So let's make this a beach as well. And I'm sort of filling up this canal here because I don't want any water to potentially flood any of my underground builds here. Now, the second new feature is trees. Which are made of logs and leaves. As I said, I did want to put a tree here. And this is what the trees naturally look like in this version. They generate basically with a box, but the top layer is a plus shape. And not only can we use the leaves and logs for trees, we can also use them in other builds as well. Some people use leaves as windows. I don't really like how that looks, so I'm just going to leave all my windows blank until we get glass. But the final new block for this version is the gravel. Which can make a nice ocean floor, or sea floor in this case, and can also be used for other purposes, like, I guess, building. Though sand and gravel have a couple restrictions in place when it comes to building with them, which we will look at after I'm finished building this little lake bed here. So, when you place sand and gravel, they fall. Sand and gravel have physics, and you can see this in action by placing a sand block or a gravel block on top of a stone block and then breaking the stone block and watching the sand fall to the ground. So you can't really use the sand or the gravel all that much for building. What you can use it for is to, say, replace these road things with sand, since that's now a lighter color. Funnily enough, I don't really know how to describe the color of wood planks. It's like orange, but it's not really the kind of orange people would expect when they say orange, but it's like not brown either. Also, now that we've gotten finished with this water channel, we can finally get rid of this sort of speed bump, I guess, is what you would call it. And now that I have this ability to sort of set a home point, I want to sort of start thinking about building a place that can sort of serve as my main house for this world. Or at least for during Classic. I don't know. During Classic Creative, I don't really know how Survival Test is going to turn out in that regard. I'll probably make a separate little hidey hole just for Survival Test. Benito Mussolini and the Blue Meanie, Cowboy Curtis and John B. the Genie, Robocop, Terminator, Captain Kirk, Darth Vader, Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger, Bill S. Preston, and Theodore Logan, Spock the Rock, Doc Ock, and Hulk Hogan all came out of nowhere, and lightning. And so I have to do this thing with the windows because, as stated previously, sand falls. And so I can't cover the top of the window with sand unless I'm filling it up with leaves, which I don't want to do. And plus, filling it up with leaves will make it problematic when I want to replace it with glass later. So I'm wondering, since InDev adds the ability to use fire to cook gravel into glass, can you still smelt gravel into glass, or is it just sand? I mean, I haven't tried it. It may still work. And if it doesn't, I'm certain there's a data pack that makes it work. No, actually, no. I want to use logs for this, since this is the top of the first floor. Just noticing, it seems that the bug with the grocery store has finally fixed itself. You know, I don't really understand the plot of the original Mario game. Like as depicted in the Super Nintendo version, like, how do Mario and Peach, like, fall in love immediately? Why do they fall in love? Why doesn't Mario fall in love with with any of the Toads, even though it's the exact same circumstances? Is Peach just that prone to having romantic interest? Is Mario prone to having romantic interests? Are they both just... Are they both just a romantic and an intimate friendship, as seen with... as hinted at by Odyssey? I don't know. Why does Bowser have a crush on Peach? And it's like Bowser has a crush on Peach. This wasn't in the original game, but it's in Odyssey. So, I mean, it's probably getting married more for... Some may argue that it's like getting married more for like strategic political purposes, but I totally see some romantic interest in there. Sorry for that last little rant there. I was thinking about that as I was building this. Just suddenly the word damsel popped into my mind. Oh, for fork's sake. But also, like, this is the damsel in distress trope. There's a name for this trope, it's damsel in distress, but, like, if you search damsel in distress on DeviantArt, you get things that are not that trope. Please don't look it up. It's kinky crap. I'm about to get my video demonetized and age restricted. That is another tangent. That one I definitely should not have gone on. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when our mama sang us to sleep. We're stressed out, all my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know the half of the abuse. So here's a tour of the sort of house interior. So here we have, I don't know what this is, some sort of like bookshelf or something. Actually, no, maybe that could be a pot plant, that could be a bookshelf. And then we have, in here we have the kitchen and with the fridge and whatnot, and we have the sort of dining area. And over here is the living room with the coffee table and the reclining couch. And another bookshelf. And this is like a shoe rack to put like your shoes and your coats and whatever. Then upstairs we have a little guardrail here to prevent you from falling down a hole. And then we have more pot plants since I didn't really want to know what to do with most of the space. Here's the bathroom with the toilet, quote unquote. And maybe I should put like a bathtub or something. Let's put like a big fancy 2x2 bathtub. And then we have, so here's the bedroom with like my computer and my bed and whatnot. And like a shelf or whatever. This is my dresser. And I didn't know what to do with this space. It was too small for another bedroom, so I just made it into like a little game table, like where you'd play like poker or board games, invite over friends and play like tabletop games with them, play D&D or whatever. And so now I can sort of set my home point here at this... That's not right. At this mansion. And then once I go out adventuring, like, into the world to, like, build something, I can hit R to return safely home. Yeah, I was going to focus on, at least somewhat, on the, sort of sea area at some point today, but I just ran out of time while building my house. So I think I want to call it quits for today. This world is beginning to fill up with quite a bit of stuff, though there's still quite a bunch of blank space. I think tomorrow I want to both focus on the beach area and build like a boardwalk or something, and build another one of these big buildings. Maybe two smaller buildings, I don't know. So, bye.